Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. The fall flow's looking good. If this hurricane will stop sending up all this rain, I think we can get a decent fall flow. These are splits that we made in early August. I've been going through them and I'm really excited. They look exactly the way that I want them to look. The fall flow has started, ironweed, all kinds of different pollens coming in, and you're gonna see the difference it makes when you have a good queen, dead mites, and good nutrition. Great queen, dead mites, and good nutrition. One of those things. All right, so here's one I was just in a little bit ago. And you can see them eating the pollen patty. You don't have to give it to them right now, but these bees are right on the cusp of just absolute greatness. They're just beautiful. On average, I'm seeing at least 3 good frames of brood. And the queens are at the stage where their first offspring have been coming out of the cell for probably the last 5 days, maybe a week at the most. So this one over here, you can see where we've got the queen breeding number marked onto the nucleus colonies. You can just see that they're looking great. A lot of people ask about overwintering nucleus colonies. I think that's fine, but why overwinter nukes when you can overwinter ripped 8, 10, and 12 frame colonies? Here in Tennessee we still have time, but time is running out. But these bees are taking advantage of every day. Hey, by the way, before we hop into this one, we've got another channel. We've got some pastured poultry back here. We're going to be doing a lot of other stuff. All kinds of different things. We just don't want to bog down this channel with it. But if you want to see how we're doing all that kind of stuff, family's going to be more involved with that channel. I'm going to leave that in the comments below, and you can watch other crazy stuff going on in Tennessee. All right, let's get into this colony. So look at that right there, just absolutely gorgeous. So that's 3 nukes in a row. They're just worth so much to our operation, and yes, they're young, but they have so much potential, especially if you have drawn comb. Drawn comb is so vital. So let's get into this edge frame here. The first frame, it's best if you get it from this side, so you can pull that. So let me just scoot all these over. We wanted to film it from this direction, but honestly it's best if you get into these from the other direction. Alright, so here's an edge frame. I'm also checking to see what the weight is because of all the rain. We need to make sure they have enough food. Alright, so I'm seeing lots of larvae down in here, eggs. Let's see what this side has to offer. Oh yeah, it's loaded. Let's see if I can get this where you can see it. Look at all that brood. They're capping some of it, different stages. That's awesome. And it's an edge frame of all things. Now this light frame right here was used for honey production earlier this year, making up extra colonies and selling off some combs this year. Some of the honey combs are now going into the brood part of the hives, and so it's looking pretty good right there. Let's I didn't see the queen on that one. Let's see if we can spot her. We've got our mite killing strip right there. I really hope to do oxalic acid vapor instead, but I didn't. My ProVap went out on me, and but I've got an easy VAP now, so I'm looking forward to using that. Look at that brood right there. That's a lot of bee power fixing to happen. Not seeing a whole lot of bee bread. I have been seeing that in other colonies. You can see where the apivar strip was over here. They'll eventually build that out once I pull the strip out. I mean, it works. It definitely works, but I would have rather used 15 cents of oxalic acid than a $2.50 strip. I can't say anything. Like Porky Pig over here. Alright, so look at that brood right there. Just absolutely gorgeous looking, healthy brood. You can see some of the older bees. That one looks like probably a bee from where we made the split. It's probably just got a handful of days left to live. Just looking really good here. A lot of fuzzy bees. Let's go and see what the next frame looks like. That's a nurse bee right there. Alright. Excuse me. Just, there's a calf brood on the next frame over. There's a emerging brood on this side. Yeah, this is all just old emerging stuff. Here's the pollen. Here's the good stuff. Look at that diverse pollen right there. Now we did give them some frames that had some stuff in it, but you know, some of this is real fresh. We've been seeing lots of pollen coming in lately. It just makes all the difference in the world. Look at all those fresh fuzzy bees right there, and look at that capped brood. There's so much bee power fixing to happen. The problem is though, we've got to get these colonies out of here, or we're going to have swarming on our hands, because that's 1 frame of brood, 2 frame of brood, 3 frame of brood. You know, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little frames of brood. We might have 4. I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah. Good grief. And just look at that capped brood. Makes me giddy. Some more capped brood. Now some people are going to be like, well, I see queen cells. These are just old queen cups right here. It's no big deal. They're dry as a bone. I'm seeing eggs down in there. Seeing lots of bee bread. Seeing a little bit of nectar and stuff up in here. You know, I put in a frame, like pretty much the equivalent of a full frame of honey at one point. You know, I just stick this one back in. It's hard to always remember what to say in these videos and also do what you're supposed to do. Let's see what this edge frame has for us. So the main thing is they don't have a lot of surplus honey, nectar, or syrup in here. They're basically right now taking in what is coming from nature and what was already given to them. We did feed all of these a quart of 1-to-1, and they basically burned through it all, and they've utilized it for brood production. I mean, all that brood took a ton of nectar and a ton of pollen and ultra bee to make that happen. But what happens if things get really bad for the next week to 10 days? What's happening? They're slowing down. We want them to keep trucking forward. And if that continues at the rate that it is right now, we're totally looking at a packed 10 frame deep box going into winter, probably coming out of winter. And then now we're looking at a honey production colony of full, complete potential, as long as it has plenty of honeycombs to do so. Alright, there's the queen right there. You can see her little blue dot. Man, she is really swollen. You can tell she's just laying up a storm. So this is going to be 5 frames of brood. If you consolidated it all down, it would be 4 frames of brood in various stages. That's excellent, especially for a colony this size. But this didn't happen on accident. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes involved in these, a lot of planning. She has plenty of nurse bees, young, good queen, great mites, dead mites, great queen, good nutrition, all that stuff. So they're drawing this frame out over here on the edge. It's just, we're at a tricky stage right now. If we feed them too hard and the nectar flow hits, they'll plug up and swarm. So we'll be doing a video shortly on transferring these all into 10 frame deep boxes and putting them on pallets and trying to get all these to a different bee yard. Anyways, this is great. I'm so excited about these bees right here. I'm very thankful that we've gotten some pretty good weather in August. That's really helped our bees out tremendously. Even July wasn't so bad. If we can just get some dry days, we are set for some really good fall weather. I haven't been able to mow my grass though, because it's just little rain showers like every day. I feel like we're in the tropics or something like that. Humidity's been through the roof, but it hasn't been too hot. It's been, you know, mostly low 80s. So it's been great. Chickens are loving it. Anyways, if you want to follow that channel or have any comments or questions, you'll see it in the comments below, and thanks for watching our videos.